Hello, John Tapp here. To show you really quickly how to run a reliability and look at some discrepancy analysis and show you how cool that is with the new Mushi's version 4 in Procoder. As you can see here, I already have a couple of Procoder files in here just to look at the preferences. These are not interval files, and they're Procoder files. I'm going to have that set correctly. Just to be sure, I'm going to run this frequencies and duration. Those are set right. And there's the frequencies and durations of the codes. Then I'm going to pick interobserver agreement here. I'm going to look at that really quick. Oh, and let's look at the code file really quick. You can see we have several count groups here. We only have one group that duration is cared about. So we're going to use non-exhaustive reports. Let's make sure that's set right, and it's not. So we want non-exhaustive reports. And there's a chapter in the Yoder book about this. Basically, an exhaustive report covers the whole time, and a non-exhaustive report doesn't cover the whole time. So in a non-exhaustive report, we do want a agreement window size, and we're going to output the matrix so we can look at it. We're going to display the times of disagreements, and I'm going to set my window size to 3 seconds, and this is both before and after to find hits. It says here, note, window size is not used in exhaustive coding, in exhaustive counting. So, just a note of that. In exhaustive counting, we just say, do the seconds agree or not. In non-exhaustive counting, we use a window around the first file to see if there's a code or not in the second file. And we also see if there's a code in the same group. In the new method, it's only counted once as a disagreement, and before it was counted twice. So it's a little bit better. Each code is counted only once, or each discrepancy is counted only once. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to run it, and we're going to look at the output. So I'm going to clear the output file really quickly and run that. And you can see it gives me a list of the discrepancies now, which is very useful, especially with Procoder. So you can export this to Procoder, go back and look at your discrepancies of your two observers and say, what exactly do we disagree on here? Very useful. You can also print this out and go look at them. I'm not going to do that for this short video. I'm just going to continue. So we have at the top, we have a exhaustive agreement matrix report. That covers the whole time. So we can fill in this cell where they both said none in this file, in this pair that didn't happen. But just to look at this, in this pair, 885 seconds, the first person said 1C, and the second person said 1C. So that's agreement. Agreement's down the diagonal of this table. They both said 1U for 65 seconds. The first person said 1U, while the first person said 1C. 3 seconds. There's a little bit of a disagreement there. There's a little bit of a disagreement here. One person said none for 1 second, while the other person was saying 1C. That's the duration. And this is counting every second in the session. And there's your statistics on that. If you look at the non-exhaustive reports, you can see that there's an NA in the none. Well, we can't count that. But otherwise, we can count where the discrepancies are. So the first person said 2I, while the other person said nothing. So we have this none column where it just didn't happen versus something was just disagreed on. In this case here, the first person said 2I when the second person said 2R. And if you'll notice that this is done by group. So if they're in the same group and they just said different codes, it's only one disagreement there. This is a little bit new from the old version of Moose's, and the rationale is for this is in the Yoder book. Okay, so that's how you read these, and that's the changes. And this is also an illustration of using Procoder data with Moose's version 4. If you do the same thing with an interval system, it does the exact same thing, except for your time unit instead of seconds is intervals. So that about covers this. The key thing is that there's a new output of your discrepancies that's extremely useful for training. And you should also read the Yoder book about the correlation coefficients, interclass correlation coefficients for overall study inter-observer agreement numbers. And that's all for this video. And we'll see you in the next one.